Hello!
Hello, AOS fans!
It's the Agents of Gnarlwood.
Yes, the first Agents of Gnarlwood video based on the very slim pickings that GW offered us.
Yep.
Well, I would say out of the blue, but it wasn't really. They teased us saying that we'd get some Underworlds news this week, but then they just smashed it down. That was on Sunday. They smashed it down on Monday.
They were like, you might get some, here's some news!
Exactly. With a complete review. I mean, we knew we were due a new box at some point during October.
Yeah.
But there was the new box called
Gnarlwood.
Yeah, I haven't thought of a chocolate bar sweet thing yet. But
Comments below. What chocolate bar can we put over Gnarlwood to put something there? Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So
we'll try and do that. But anyway, so we just wanted a quick rundown because we're quite excited about it.
Yeah.
So during 2022, we've really kind of reignited our enjoyment of Underworlds via the Rivals format. We played our first game in our competition between
in our knockout league,
Grand Alliance knockout league. So you can see that live. Oh, you could have seen it live. you
can check it out. There'll be a link in the comments.
Which was the Hexbanes versus. Who did you play?
I played the Morgwest Blade Cone, so it was an order off.
Order off, yes, order off.
Order.
So we were really, really thrilled. I think probably the most exciting thing about this was that they were going to include 4 Rivals decks in the box, of the Gnarlwood box. So I guess it's going to be one each for each faction.
Yeah, there'll be the 2 factions. So it's kind of not quite Rivalsy in that they're not Rivals decks that everyone can use, but
there
are still 4
fully functional decks for faction only, and then a universal deck which is completely Rivals. And actually, that's something Pete and I mentioned in a previous video that they should do. That basically all universal cards should effectively come with their own.
They should be in a Rivals deck. Yeah.
So I don't know whether that means they're going to moving forward. Every new warband is going to come with.
Oh, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Well, it would. I think
every
really
warband comes with the warband Rivals deck, and then just a second Rivals deck.
Yeah.
Make that happen, GW. It would be fantastic.
I think that would be really good if they did that. I think it bodes quite well.
Yeah,
they're going to do that. So I think that was probably the most exciting thing for me. That they're embracing Rivals. I think, and we've commented on this before, I think Rivals is the way to keep the game being played. I know there's people who love Championship and don't like Rivals, but they can carry on playing Championship. But I think
because you can still break those decks up.
The more and more I play at Rivals, I think it's a brilliant pick up and play game. Yep. You can get a couple of games in an evening easily.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way to go, especially in the current economic crisis where chasing cards, unless you're trying to set fire to them, is not a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm really thrilled about that. The warbands themselves are quite exciting. I'm not so keen on the Dark Oath ones because I think they're just more muscly blokes, and I know they're quite different to the Drom. But I've just painted a load of muscly blokes, and I thought I don't know if they're all blokes actually, but there's
1 or 2 in there. The poses aren't too bad. One of them actually looks a bit like Golgot the Butcher. He's kind of got that big double axe.
Yeah, I think that's quite
pose.
The Gore Chosen models are all a bit like that, so I'm a bit disappointed about that. But I really like the undead. The undead are like classic Regiments of Renown style undead.
They look fantastic.
So Pete and I basically want a box with 2 of those in, so we can both paint them.
Yeah, we're going to have an arm wrestling match over that one to see who wins it, I think. But yeah, the Suns are the hot thing for me, and they do look really, really nice. Yeah,
we don't know much about them. They've got command tokens to help them inspire, or to that's part of their inspire mechanic, isn't it?
Yes, so the leader himself, we did see quite a chunk of his card. He's got a 2 hammer, 3 damage attack, and he has Grievous, which means when he's inspired, he could be knocking out 4 damage possibly.
That's pretty good.
When he activates, you then put a command token on him, which means he then assists. He is supporting all the other fighters, and if there is an attack action made that has a crit, I believe, and if he makes that attack, or if he is supporting that attack, then he inspires. So
that's quite interesting.
You can activate him first, just put him on guard, and then all the rest of your attacks he'll be supporting that one, and if you roll any crits, then he'll be inspired, and he does look quite scary.
There's a blurry photo of a raised token, so maybe the raised mechanism will come back in. Obviously they're undead and skeletal, so we could have Clash of the Titans style coming out of the ground, so that could definitely happen.
It's a classic that they haven't used in a long time, so I think that's due a return.
Yeah, and they do tinker with the raised mechanic every now and again.
Every now and then they're like,
because the Hexbanes have a card which messes with people who've got raised tokens.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And there's literally only 1 warband at the minute that card is any good for at all.
Yeah.
So come on, let's have some more uses of that card.
I'm slightly disappointed that it's back in Gur.
Yeah,
I mean, I quite like the tree aesthetic, but I'm
not that wedded to it.
We've gone into Gur for Beastgrave and Diecast, and we've been out of Gur for Shaish, and I think the shadowy look of Harrowdeep and Nethermaze was really quite cool.
It was all good, wasn't it? The previous one, I think so.
Yeah, sorry, Olgu, not Shaish. Sorry,
but I would have rather have seen it go into somewhere like Shaish or just somewhere else. Yeah, anywhere but Gur. Yeah. Southend, anything but Gur, basically.
The coast for the weekend, Margate.
Yeah.
Dan and Gnarlwood.
So it's okay. The board looked quite busy, I thought, from what we've seen in the pictures. But you know what? They're hard to tell from a little picture. Grainy picture has been taken out. If you were to look at a lot of the boards from Nethermaze and that, they look quite busy. So I'll reserve judgment on those. There was one interesting one. There were 3 hexes together. One was a lethal, I think. One was like a cover, and one was a blocked, and they're all right next to each other. So there's lots going on.
Yeah. Will we see gloom? That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
We're not in the shadow realm anymore. I feel like the wooded element and sort of gnarlwood kind of just they could have gloom. I think it would be a bit sad if they got rid of that straight away.
I do. Yeah.
Especially as some warbands like the I forgot what they're called, but the ones that are in the core Nethermaze box.
Oh yeah, the Shadeborn.
Yeah, they really do need their gloom hexes to function properly.
Or edge hexes as well, but but then obviously the Gnarlwood, a big thing with them is the fact that the trees themselves are dangerous.
Yes.
So it would kind of make sense being in Gur to bring back.
It would make sense.
It would make sense to bring back lethal hexes.
Yeah.
Placeable lethal.
I wonder
hexes
whether they
instead.
might be like. There might be things that hold you so you can't move.
Oh, interesting.
They do promise new mechanics. Now, they always herald new mechanics as being a good thing. I'm always a little bit dubious about new mechanics because the problem with new mechanics is that they very quickly become old mechanics and forgotten about mechanics.
Yeah.
So there's almost no point in liking them. It's like, oh, we're great, we've got this new mechanic. And it'll be like, well, possibly we won't care about it in 2 years' time. It's hard to stay excited.
And there's so many things that they've brought out. I mean, in the last 2 seasons, we had things like Stagger.
Yeah.
I can't remember the others. There was Stagger.
They call it Grievous.
Grievous, yeah. So, I mean, Grievous is codifying a thing which isn't too bad. Plus one
the
damage
gloom
to roll
hexes,
crit.
as we've already said.
Gloom hexes
and
as
then
well.
when they added domains, they've added maps, they've added various keywords, but then they sweep them aside, as we know.
Yeah.
Primacy. Who remembers primacy?
Oh.
I remember primacy.
Primacy.
And then it's gone, and that's a shame. The one other thing of note, and you noted this,
I did,
was that there are no mention in any of the text about Grand Alliance cards.
Yeah.
So is that a thing that's gone? Are they gone? I don't, because if they're in a...
They're around for a year.
If they're in a Universal Rivals deck, they can't have Grand Alliance cards in them.
Can they not?
Well, they can't, because they won't work for... Like, you couldn't take it with an Order Warband if it had a... There has to be,
true, that is true. That is a good point. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, that's a good point.
So, that's good. We both had two observations.
There we are. Yeah, that's a good point. Because I was sitting thinking they could just have them in those Rivals decks, but as you know, they can't. They just can't do that. So, yeah, they said there's 2 Rivals decks, but they haven't mentioned any other cards. So, are Grand Alliance now gone? If so, they were only around a year. That kind of, I mean,
maybe they were a failed experiment. As we were saying, I think maybe they want to be careful with the Grand Alliance cards because they don't want to add something that's really strong across sort of a quarter of the pile. So they made them a bit weaker, which because they're a bit weaker just means nobody takes them. Or it may just be it heralds that kind of they do Rivals is the way to go, and Championship is just very niche. I don't know. Who knows? But
it's very hard for them to get the feedback because they work like 18 months in advance. So they would have already packaged up and sent all to print all of that stuff way before the previous season was even over. So
maybe they don't do it that far in advance for the card stock. I have no idea.
Well, they must do. They must do for the cards because they've got to have the whole thing packaged up and stuff. So
I don't think we need to discuss this now.
Who knows? But I'm not phased to see the back of Grand Alliance cards if they're gone because we never
play
use
Rivals. We never use them. So
and like you say, I think maybe they've realised Rivals is actually a better way to keep people interested. People got bored with chasing cards a lot of the time. I feel like a lot of people felt a lot of pressure to pick up all the cards whether they wanted them or not. And this way, sticking to Rivals with rival decks means that there's a lot less pressure there. If you don't like a warband, you just don't buy the warband, and that's it. You've not lost anything.
It seems like it's not the ultimate war game. The ultimate sort of competitive war game. It is just literally a good game.
It's just a game
for people to play. Excited about Gnarlwood in a way that we weren't excited about Harrowdeep this time last year.
Yeah,
which I think shows how good this season has been.
Harrowdeep and Nethermaze have definitely turned things around for us.
Absolutely. So do look out for more Gnarlwood content, hopefully in the not too distant future. But definitely look out for our exciting tournament of Rivals.
The clash of the Grand Alliances.
Yeah. because they do still exist.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do still, even without that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below to let us know what you're looking forward to in the Gnarlwood, or what you're not looking forward to in the Gnarlwood.
Or any little things you've noticed, because people always notice stuff.
And keep your eyes peeled for more content soon.
Absolutely. This video's been about 3 times longer than I expected it to be. But thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon in the Gnarlwood, maybe the Nether Maze.
Bye!